Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I'm Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, the Ministry of Health and Social Services, the World Food Programme, the World Health Organization, and the Joint United Nations on HIV and AIDS hosted a 1,000-day campaign enabling better complementary feeding practices / family meals through participatory cooking demonstrations for community health workers, pregnant and breastfeeding women, and people living with HIV and AIDS. Let's take a look.
Yeah, good day. We really thank WFP to come on board at EPACO Clinic to come and help the community that was facing challenges in malnutrition. We have seen the impact. Children and families, adults, they have been recovering from malnutrition. We are encouraging the community to continue with the help of WFP to take care of the garden at the EPACO Clinic so they can continue getting help from there. But we still have a problem. The problem is sustainability. So we are appealing to the ministry and WFP to see how they can make this project sustainable from time to time. Also looking to how to get some home gardening that will help also to address the challenges of malnutrition in the community. Thank you very much.
The Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Derek Claassen, on Friday visited the Etosha Fishing Cannery in Walvis Bay, which recently commenced after a prolonged period of downtime. Claassen's visit provided an opportunity to observe operations and the processing of the relief quota firsthand. Nikano Nangolo reports.
Thank the company for inviting me here today. This is a very, very important day for us in Namibia and for the government of Namibia. We have been called here by Mr. de Gouveia and Mr. Volker to take me through the process of the canning so that we can see how this canning is taking place. I want to take a few steps back. During the course of the year, Mr. Volker and a lady called Natasha, is it Natasha? Nazette called me and we had a meeting and they told me that they need to close down the company. It came as a shock to me. Immediately after that, we start negotiations with the company to see that we don't close this company down. I went to cabinet, discussed with my colleagues in cabinet, and we were all in agreement. This cannery of Etosha for Namibia, it is very, very important, and we cannot allow, because if this cannery is closing down, to put up a new cannery again, it would be a mammoth task. So that is why the Namibian government decided, no, we need to assist this cannery, and by virtue of that, we had some discussions and some avenues that we are looking into, others also that we are looking into. I was here yesterday and I sat down with Mr. de Gouveia, Mr. Volker, and some international partners that might help to explore other avenues of how we can keep this factory running. By saying that, for the interim, we decided to allocate 5,000 tons of horse mackerel just to get started. And what is quite disturbing for us is, it is lucky that we started with this process because we are facing with a severe drought in our country. And this year it seems it's more severe than other years because it's not just certain parts of the country that's affected, but it's the whole country that's affected by the drought. And as we know that can I have one of those tins? As we know that canned fish like this, and this is our own horse mackerel that Etosha puts in cans for us. In the past, we used to have pilset canned. We used to have abundance of pilset in this country. But due to over-exploitation, this pilset has become under severe stress, in the sense that for the past years, government has allocated a 0 TAC, total allowable catch, on pilset.
The 2023 Tsumeb Copper Festival is taking place this weekend at the United Nations Park under the theme Empowering Entrepreneurship in Sustainable Namibia. The event is hosted annually by the Tsumeb municipality, aimed at creating a platform for SMEs. For the first time, we SMEs will be trained, and manuals and certificates will be issued to successful participants afterwards, Sport, Youth and National Service Deputy Minister said. Emma Kantama Gomez will take time out to engage with the youth, she added. Now, the organizers anticipate a huge influx of visitors, with Southern African Development Community countries forming the bulk of the expected 140 exhibitors. Free exhibition space is allocated to the Boy Scouts, Ombili Foundation and Avaristus Shikongo Parisian inmates, who will be exhibiting handicrafts. The music lineup features local upcoming artists of Tsumeb, with Yizia headlining tonight's show, while Swasis will headline tomorrow's show. The 18th edition of the event, which will be hosted by the Northern Town at the United Nations Park between 1 and the 4th of November, is poised with a lot of positive changes. In our story of the day, two ministers launched a joint partnership through Namibia Sports Commission. We take a look at this on the other side of this.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
To promote the national symbol, enhance the spirit of nationhood, and build a sense of national pride among Namibians, the Ministry of Information, Communication Technology and the Ministry of Sports, Youth and National Service launched a joint partnership through the Namibia Sports Commission. Held at the Government Information Center in Windhoek, it aims to dress national teams across all sport codes in the same national colors. Speaking at the launch, the Sports Minister Agnes Shongarero said the initiative will support the country's athletes with free tracksuit bearing the My Namibia, My Country, My Pride logo for 12 months starting today. Mariette Ngula reports.
The pride of a nation is in how the nation sees themselves. And we are saying here, a united nation is a proud nation. But when we go somewhere, it doesn't matter where, as a team, Namibian team, and we are dressed in different attires, I don't think there will be any pride in that. The moment we are looking the same, in the same attire, that moment, everything else falls away. We are one thing. If you go out and there's an event, and you don't know who's who, but you'll know who's Namibia, when you see that tracksuit, when you see that symbol, when you see that flag, you know that is Namibia.
Moving on to community news, the enumeration of persons will officially conclude this coming Sunday. Stick around for the story on the other side of the break.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Namibia Statistics Agency General and CEO Alex Shimwafeni announced that the enumeration of persons will officially conclude on Sunday, November the 5th, 2023. He went on to say that the updated statistics would be released in 6 to 8 months. Shimwafeni also addressed the ongoing issue of delayed enumerators' salaries, claiming that the verification process is the reason for the delay. He did, however, say that the first batch of payments would be made in the following week. The payment delay is due to time, not lack of finance, Shimwafeni said. Rita Kakelo reports.
The 31st of October 2023, and when I'm saying the salary portion is because there was also another portion which is the field allowance, and that was paid already. It was paid already in full. And then there were also people who were not making use of the transport services. They had to get a transport allowance. Those were also paid. It was already paid some time back now. Now let's talk about the delay. What caused the delay in payment of the salaries of the field worker enumerators? This delay was really due to the fact that we were busy with multiple verifications. The multiple verifications included that every enumerator had a tablet that they were using. They had to submit their tablets. Yes, maybe the time that they're submitting, they could show that they are working, but then they needed to be also individually inspected, whether they are fully functioning, whether they didn't have cracks, and all those things. And we are talking about 13,000 tablets, and this took a lot of time. We are also talking about some of the enumerators that had disciplinary matters, maybe where they also had to be let go earlier. So those are also those verifications that we included. And then absenteeism as well, because we were paying people for the work done. We were also looking at those verifications and even other disciplinary matters. And those are taking a lot of time, but we also have made the management decision now to say it will not be fair to hold up everything for especially against people who did not have any pending matters, no disciplinary matters, no absenteeism, no non-functional equipment. Some of the equipment are also, we are talking about whether there are chargers that are missing or so. We're saying that we have proceeded now with processing payments, and we say if you have a pending matter, we will hold on that amount and then pay the rest. And holding on the amount, I just want to be clear that does not mean that necessarily you will not get that amount. If you are clear at the end of the day, then you still get your amount. But what is important to make sure that we are making those payments.
We'll get into our economic news shortly.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights. somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
In our economic news, the Ministry of Finance projects the Namibian economy to grow by 3.5% in 2023 before slowing to 2.9% in 2024. This is an upward revision from the forecast in the main budget of 3.2% and 2.2% for 2023 and 2024 respectively. The growth update considered expected higher output in the secondary and tertiary industries supported by strong demand for services. Meanwhile, value addition in the primary industry is projected to trend lower due to reduced output than initially anticipated in the mining sector as well as the agriculture sector, which is expected to be negatively affected by the ongoing drought. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 22.49, against the euro at 19.58, against the US dollar at 18.29. 2 Namibian dollars and 50 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 0.06%, going for $88 per barrel.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
You're still watching Sunset News. Let's take a look at our international news. President Cyril Ramaphosa opened the AGOA Forum in Johannesburg with a call for a long-haul extension of the duty-free access to the U.S. market for 35 African countries. The African Growth and Opportunity Act, valued at about $4.5 billion a year, is up for renewal by Congress in 2025. U.S. President Joe Biden said on Thursday he strongly supported the reauthorization of AGOA beyond 2025 when it comes up for renewal. Let's take a look.
We can do more if this opportunity is extended, and we can build more capacity if we have certainty, Ambassador Tai, that yes, the period of extension will be longer. Now, shorter periods of extension impede investment ambitions, and we therefore want to see a much lengthier period of extension. Now, beyond the government-to-government discussion, United States and Africa, we are going to be here for a long time. United States and us, we are here for the long haul. So let us make AGOA a long haul opportunity for all of us.
Following the tensions between Israel and Palestine, hundreds of Ghanaians took to the streets of the capital Accra on Thursday to demand a ceasefire in Gaza. Protesters gathered at a main interchange named after the country's first president and independence icon. Now, the protests took place as the violence focus on the Gaza Strip has been intensifying. Let's take a look at the weather. Katima Mulilo can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 23 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius. Handys Bay can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 14 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news first. It is the Paris Masters that continue. It's an ATP Thousands tournament, meaning all the best men's players in the world are playing in the tournament. Tournament news is that Jannik Sinner, his number 4 seed, is out of the tournament. He had to withdraw. That was because of fatigue. That's not good for organizers. His game finished at 2:37 a.m. in the morning, and he said that he cannot continue like that. He won the previous weekend. He won on the ATP Tour, but he was meant to play against Alex de Minaur. He withdrew. That was after his game against Michael McDonald ended the 3-setter that early in the morning. Sinner said that he must still play 2 important tournaments. That's the ATP Finals, that will be in Turin. The top 8 players in the world, the men's players, will play in that. Also the Davis Cup Finals, that's also following later in the year. So that is Jannik Sinner out of the tournament. Tournament news further is that Novak Djokovic, the number 1 seed, is through to the next round. He beat Talon Griekspoor, that is in the round of 16. He beat him 4-6, 7-6 and 6-4. He's trying to win the Paris Masters for the 7th time. His route to the final made a bit easier. Many of the top players out of the tournament. It's Carlos Alcaraz and also Daniel Medvedev, number 2 and 3 seeds. Both of them out of the tournament already, losing early in the tournament. Also good result for number 7 seed, that is Stefanos Tsitsipas. He beat Alexander Zverev by 7-6 and 6-4. On to cricket news, a good result, a brilliant result for India. They're hosting the 50-over World Cup cricket tournament, and they thrashed Sri Lanka. That was in their latest game. They're now top of the table, 14 points after 7 games. It's India that beat Sri Lanka by 302 runs. It's a massive victory. India scoring 357 for 8 in their allotted 50 overs, and then bowling out Sri Lanka for just 55 runs. It's Mohammad Shami. He was the best bowler for India. He took 5 wickets for just 18 runs. A tough assignment await now for South Africa, that play India, that is in good form on Sunday. South Africa currently 2nd on the points table, and it looks like these 2 teams will safely be through to the semi-finals. South Africa playing against India on Sunday, and then 2 big games also on Saturday. That will be New Zealand that play against Pakistan, and England that play against Australia, and they're still fighting for positions in the top 4 in the Cricket World Cup in India. And continuing international sports news with rugby news, and news from World Rugby is that the experienced Wayne Barnes, he's the referee that refereed in the World Cup final when South Africa beat New Zealand by 12-11 just a week ago to win their 4th title. Wayne Barnes announced that he will retire from international sport as a referee from rugby, and he's been at 5 World Cups for a long time. He had his first World Cup in 2007 and also officiated his 111th international game. That was with the final in Paris when South Africa beat the All Blacks. So it is Wayne Barnes of England only becoming the 2nd Englishman to referee a World Cup final. The first one was Ed Morrison that did that in 1995 when South Africa also beat the All Blacks. That was in Johannesburg. More rugby news is that Australia they're looking for a new coach, and there's even speculation at the moment that the new coach for Australia might even be Ian Foster that just coached the All Blacks. He's no longer the coach of the All Blacks. He was replaced by Scott Robinson as from after the World Cup, and there's Rugby Australia looking for a new coach because Eddie Jones retired, or he said he resigned, and he's no longer the coach. He was meant to be the coach till 2027. The important year for Australia, 2027, that is the World Cup, going to be hosted by Australia. Even speculation that Michael Cheika currently coaching the Pumas of Argentina, might be interested in the role. And Stephen Larkham also mentioned as a possible person or possible coach that could coach Australia to the World Cup in 2027. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport weekend, and we talk international sport again on Monday. Goodbye.
That was Ari Holkart with the sports news. Let's take a look at the news highlights from today's broadcast. Many women and mothers in the Omaheke region gathered at the Epako Clinic in Gobabis this morning for an information session on the importance of breastfeeding and nutrition for mothers, pregnant women and children up to the age of 2. The 1,000-day campaign focuses on the first 1,000 days from pregnancy until a child is 2 years old. Namibia Statistics Agency General and CEO Alex Shumwafeni announced that the enumeration of persons will officially conclude on Sunday, November the 5th, 2023. He went on to say that the updated statistics would be released in 6 to 8 months. Shumwafeni also addressed the ongoing issue of delayed enumerators' salaries. Candidates and factions vying for the Namibia Football Association presidency and other positions have commenced their scramble to secure the votes that can land them on the throne. There are a number of executive positions up for grab at the 17th of November elective Congress. The biggest position and main talking point in football circles is, however, the presidency seat, which comes with a jet-setting lifestyle. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.